Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely huge. The DNC servers that were infiltrated by you-know-who. Well, we only know that because a third-party tech firm was paid. Now, this is a fact. There's no way to fact-check this. Well, there is. But any fact-check will show that this is accurate. Vice, any publication that has reported on this has stated categorically that the United States government, James Comey himself stated, the United States government never obtained the physical servers of the DNC. They had to rely on a third-party tech firm. Now, why didn't the DNC want to give their servers to the United States government if indeed a foreign adversary wanted everybody to know that Bernie Sanders was cheated? Anyway, fast forward to, because I'll get to this at like minute 9, so I might as well tell you now, the Durham probe is now investigating the origins of the DNC hack, which, if you want to talk about the origins, we still don't know without a shadow of a doubt if the DNC was infiltrated by any other country. That is one of the many myths that morally superior, wonderful liberal Democrats believe, without any evidence. The evidence they point to is that there's an intelligence community assessment, and Russian intelligence officials were indicted. If you read the indictment, the factual background of the indictment points to Company 1. Not the Central Intelligence Agency, not the National Security Agency, Company 1. Democrats are very good at purchasing their myths and their deceptive hoaxes. The reason they're very good at that is because they have tech companies, tech executives, attorneys, third-party individuals, foundations. They all have different conduits that where they can say they can lie, they can live within plausible deniabilities. And, well, it wasn't us. Well, we didn't set up and frame Trump. We just paid an attorney to obtain information on Trump, non-public data, and then use that data to get government agents government agencies and operatives within government to investigate Trump. But we didn't investigate him. We didn't force anyone to do anything. No, they played by the rules. And in doing so, they broke numerous laws. Now, the Durham probe indicted 3 people already. But all of this started because Bernie Sanders was cheated. Now, this is very close to home. Hit subscribe to this channel right now, because I have a very, very interesting viewpoint on this. I was, at one point, the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. I wrote in the Huffington Post, and NPR quoted me. The link is on hagoodman.com. They said that I was wrong, that Clinton would lose the election. I said Clinton would lose to Trump. Okay? I stated that she would lose to Trump, and that I'm quoted in NPR. This was in 2015 or 2016. And eventually I was right. But my articles, my writing in the Huffington Post and Salon in the Hill went, they were shared hundreds of thousands of times, these articles. And I explained to the world that, I explained that Clinton could not win. That the only hope Democrats had at the moment was Bernie Sanders. I stated that Trump would defeat Clinton. She did. What happened was I didn't know, nobody knew, the extent to which Bernie Sanders was cheated. When the DNC emails came out, and by the way, when Julian Assange should be free, when those emails came out, everything he published was then republished by every other Washington Post, New York Times, BBC, The Guardian, every other publication on the planet published those emails. Even Chris Cuomo on CNN said, you have to actually read these emails through us. Something absurd like that. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Anyway, Chris Cuomo said it's not legal to read the emails. Well, of course it was. It was republished by the entire planet. Yet Democrats went after the publisher, the initial publisher. Anyway, the emails were not written by another country. They were written by DNC executives or top DNC officials. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, other people. 3 people resigned. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was demoted or actually removed from her post as chairperson, and then promptly worked for the Clinton campaign. But the real issue was Democrats first had to blame another country for their despicable behavior towards Bernie Sanders. So they got that out of the way by paying a third-party tech firm. That started the entire myth that the Kremlin was so petrified of Democrats and Clinton that they needed Trump. Meanwhile, the Clinton campaign was elevating Trump according to the DNC emails. Oh, by the way, there were the foundation emails too. I mean, we can go on. Look, the truth about them has to be marketed as a plot from another country because the truth about them is so scandalous that they have to use media. So what they'll do is they'll have loyalists in media, which is most of media, pump and spread and promulgate the most absurd nonsense that, well, another country infiltrated the servers of the DNC to inform the world that they were cheating Bernie Sanders, but really that wasn't that big of a deal. The really big deal was that another country wanted to interfere. And how did this other country interfere? By showing how corrupt Democrats were. I mean, but everybody's corrupt, so the fact that people were being shown how corrupt they were is interference. The whole thing is nonsense, okay? What happened really is that the DNC hack alleged, okay, so we have no clue categorically. We're trusting a company. So Company 1 was used to indict those intelligence officials. Company 1 was used to help compile the ODNI and DHS reports. Okay, the United States government never looked at DNC servers. Okay, everyone admits that. What the Durham probe is going to look into is that, and this is a great article by Margot Cleveland in The Federalist. Exclusive special counsel's office is investigating the 2016 DNC server hack. There was previously no known connection between the special counsel and the government's investigation into the 2016 Democratic National Committee hack. Now, and it starts off, this is a great article. The U.S. Department of Defense tasked the same Georgia Tech researcher embroiled in the Alpha Bank hoax with investigating the origins of the Democratic National Committee hacker, according to an email first obtained by the Federalist on Wednesday. Okay, the email also indicates the special counsel's office is investigating the investigation into the DNC hack and that prosecutors harbor concern about the DOD's decision to involve the Georgia Tech researcher in its probe. So you have a researcher who was a part of setting up and framing or a part of obtaining data that was then used by Sussman to influence government agencies to investigate Trump. Now, when the Washington Post and others, and when Joe Scarborough at MSNBC and all these people like, well, you know, Durham doesn't even use the word spy. He doesn't even say that they were setting up and framing Trump. No, he explains that Clinton and the DNC paid attorneys and tech executives and researchers to obtain non-public data and exploit the data to create a narrative to appease the VIPs paying them and give all that flawed, distorted, manipulated information to create a baseless allegation, baseless claims against Trump, and then use that narrative to investigate Trump, to convince government officials to investigate Trump. So no, they don't use those actual words. Well, they didn't. Durham never said the word, the S word. He never said that. No, he didn't. He just explained it in great detail. It's like saying, well, no, the person didn't drive the car. He was just behind. He was in the driver's seat, turned on the ignition, utilizing the steering wheel, pushing his foot on the gas pedal, but, he wasn't driving. It's like, well, you just described what driving is. You don't have to go, this is not rocket science. They want any claim against Trump. Like, for example, there's no direct evidence that Trump withheld military assistance. They impeached him anyway, and then they think the impeachment is evidence that of what they alleged he did. It's not. There's no direct evidence that he withheld information until Biden was investigated, because President Zelensky stated that Trump never pressured him. There should never have been an impeachment. The man who is said to have been pressured literally stated there was no pressure, but they still investigated Trump. That's how they roll. And then media actually writes. This is why media lies so much. There was no evidence that he withheld military assistance until an investigation into his direct political rival took place. It never happened. It never happened. That investigation that he allegedly wanted never really took place. Okay? And then when Rudy Giuliani tried to initiate the investigation, they went, oh my God, they tried to take him down. That didn't work either. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now.